Hello everyone. So I was gonna stream the Spirit in the Mouse Part 2 today, but I thought I'd try this out real quick. I am doing a lot of interesting things for this stream, including I have a YouTube overlay, there's like a part of OBS that now features my YouTube live page, although it's very tiny. The chat box takes up like the entire thingy, and I'm not really a big fan of that. So if someone from OBS is watching this, or they gather data from this, I hope they come to the understanding that this giant window here where the chat would normally be is kind of not helpful to my cause. So I'm gonna go ahead and click the button to tweet that we're live here. Well, it's making me do stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and ignore that. Let me cancel that. Sorry folks, like I said, I'm doing a new thing here and it's a little weird, so let me try this instead. It doesn't even say that I'm live right now, which is a little strange. Oh, yeah it does, never mind, okay. I'll go ahead and click that, yep, do that. Because see, the web browser one that I have, I've always used, it automatically goes over to Twitch, automatically goes over to Twitter like I want it to, so I'll just use that for this one. I probably should sign in on the app here, because I do want to use the app more, since it does actually post, it has a little box for my overlay in OBS, which is kind of cool. That's like brand new. Like I just got the update to do that today, so I was like, well, let me try that and see how that goes. Like I said, it's pretty cool. It's just the box is very, very tiny. So I have the application window stretched way out so that I can see what the hell it's showing me. And like I said, I've got my chat popped out. Here, let me give you a preview of what I've got going on here. I'm just gonna do a real fast display of my monitor for like a second here. Let's see. I want that one. And then I need to turn off. Actually, it's above game, so it'll just go. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of what I'm working with right there. It's like, you can see over here on the right, it's like this part is huge, and the part I need to see, which is like right here, is like super tiny. So I'm hoping they change that in future updates of this application, because again, that's really neat. That's a really cool thing that's embedded in the program, because I would normally have that on my screen, kind of like tucked in the corner, so that I can check to see if it drops the live feed. The only thing is I usually minimize my stream program, so maybe what I'll do is I'll scrunch it way up. But then it's got the little preview right there, so maybe if I just do this. Current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. We recommend, what are we recommending here? YouTube? What are you recommending me do here? I think we're good, YouTube. I think I'm okay with that. I think we want that to be what we want, so yeah, let me scooch that down just a tad. And then can I turn off? Maybe I can turn off the display thing here. I kind of can't. Okay, that's interesting. It is nice that it can be part of the program. Let me pop out the window. So it's pretty much just I don't have to open up Firefox, which is kind of useless, but that's okay, I guess. I'm just gonna put this. Oh wow! Oh, I can put that down there. Okay, that's interesting. So you can move this thing around and put stuff all over the damn place. That's interesting. So yeah, let's scrunch that little guy down. Boy, this is weird. I'm just having a blast kind of scrunching things up and making things really weird. Like, now I don't know where to put this. I want it to be, like, really big. And I don't think I need that. Okay, I just kind of covered up the scene transition panel, which, yeah. Sorry, folks, I'm kind of fucking around with the program and moving things around, and it's a little strange. Here's what we'll do. Okay, so we'll take this, and we'll get rid of that. We don't need the scene transitions window. No, I just covered up the audio mixer. Okay, we want that, like, how do I, there's no X button, so I can't, like, get rid of it. Yeah, put that there. Okay, cool. And then sources, let's cover up scenes because we don't need scenes. I don't really have any scenes. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Cool, cool. So I've got my audio mixer, which I do like. I've got my sources, which I do like. I've got my YouTube thing, which is kind of fucking big. And it is a little weird. This is a strange size. I don't know, this is a little weird. This is a bit of a strange setup I got going on here, but it's okay. I think this will work still. Okay, I do apologize for how long it's taking me to get started actually playing the video game. But, like I said, OBS is like all kinds of funky newness, and I'm trying to figure out how to do it properly, so apologies for that. But yes, let's get into the video game here. So I'm gonna jump into our server that me and my friend Danny have been playing on. He's kind of busy playing the newer, updated version of the game that's like more popular on Steam because it's the Unreal 5 engine version. But we started this before that came out. It was actually the same weekend that version came out. And he switched over to that, but I kept playing our old version. Long story short, I don't really trust the devs at Wildcard because I bought the Switch copy and they're like, oh yeah, the Switch copy is gonna not only have a super cool update that makes it run better and look nicer, but it's also gonna come with all the DLC maps for free as an update. And they basically turned around and said, actually, we need you to pay a season pass. So, I wasn't really cool with that. And they had been kind of like deciding that DLCs were going to cost more money than they originally thought. And like, just a whole lot of kind of going back on their word on a bunch of stuff. And it just, I don't like that. I don't like to support that financially. So, I didn't buy the Unreal 5 engine version. And I'm not sure that I will. It depends on if they decide that they're going to actually give out the DLC maps for the Unreal 5 version for free or not. But yes, so moving away from that and into the base here. So this is my little starting hut in this map. Just as a FYI of what we got going on. The server is unofficial. Obviously the official ones don't work anymore for this version of the game. my friend Danny is the one managing this server. He set this up. I'm just kind of connecting to it. It's being hosted at his house right now. He tweaked settings very much in the INI or whatever it is. I don't remember exactly how he does that, but like, it's not the same as the single player sliders that I'm used to when I'm playing by myself. But essentially, he made our characters and our tames, as they're called, way better than they would normally be. So our stats and our friendly dino or tamed dino stats are much higher than they would normally be on an official server. So we also changed the XP gain to be a lot faster, probably like 3, 4, 5 times as fast, and the timers for the taming. So incubating eggs, knocking out a creature and taming it and things like that are very, very heavily boosted, so they go very quickly. That being said, we made all of this kind of progress that you see here in about a month. And you might say, well, shit, that's not very long at all for all the stuff you got going on there. And it's like, okay, so another thing I should mention is that these characters we're using came from another map. We played Extinction, which is another DLC map that this game has in it, and got our characters like up to level 80 or so, and kind of were like at a point where we weren't really wanting to play a whole lot, so we stopped playing for a while, and then we came back to it recently and started playing on this new map, Fjordur. So we transferred our characters in, and I had a lot of points invested, and just like, you go from level 1, you can like barely punch trees and shit, and you're gonna get killed by everything, to the point where I'm at now, where it's like I'm not even, other than like doing the bosses and single-handedly going in and grabbing all the artifacts to do the bosses, there's not a whole lot that this game's map can throw at me. I mean, obviously if I take my armor off and I go stand still and just whistle, hey, come and fuck me in the butt, any dino is going to come along and kill my face immediately. So it's hard. The difficulty curve of this game is very, very high, as anybody that's played it will tell you. But we have had a lot of experience with it. We have learned a lot of this game's quirks, and we are pretty far along in terms of what we can do. So we're kind of getting to the end game here, where we're like running out of stuff to do. Which, if the game was being played the way it was intended, we would be probably not even close. But we're impatient and we like to do things quickly, so we cheated some stuff in. So just kind of going to go over the map a little bit, because it's kind of helpful to see where things are, I guess. I can bring up my actual character map that I have. So as you can see, my little arrow there is right about there. I need to pick this bird up because it's like making me move around, which is not helpful. Please go over there, bird. Okay. And the light pet probably needs to move away as well. So as you could see on the map, the big map there, we are basically at this castle that is marked on the map here. That's where we have made our base, which from having explored this whole entire map for the most part, as it is like almost entirely filled in, I would say this is probably one of the better places to be, although I am a little curious about that one. So I might check that one out here on stream just to see what that's about, because that might be kind of fun. We started playing this map right around where that little dot of water is there, just above the line for 40, I guess that is, and at this line that is 50. So about 40 of, I assume, I can't tell which one's which, but 40 on the horizontal line and 50 on the vertical line. There's like that kind of like a pond right there, and it's either that place there or it was like way over on this side over here, but like there's a lake with some kind of a hut, a pre-built house, like a Viking house, and I kind of was like camping out in there for like a minute or two, but then Danny found this castle and we kind of just set up shop in here. I don't want to spend the whole stream kind of explaining how this game works, because it's got a lot of little things, a lot of nuances that are very, like, a lot of things to explain in a very short time. As you can see, I've got some pets here that I can pick up and throw onto the ground. This bird here, the Fjord hawk, is unique to this map. The thing about him is that it lets you... Basically, I can die, and then when I respawn on this bed, I will have a bag that will appear with all of my crap in it. By default, when you die in this game, you lose all of the shit that you're carrying. Everything that's in your hotbar, everything that's in your inventory. I have some shotgun shells in here. All of your armor, everything. You just lose it all. But with the Fjord hawks here, this bird fella, you get a little backpack with all your crap in it that appears behind you when you respawn. And just to make sure you don't spam the shit out of that and abuse it, they made it have an hour of real-time cooldown. And that does not reset if you switch to a different bird. It's tied to your character, not the bird itself. This other guy next to him is what is called a light pet. As I demonstrate here, I can turn on his little glowy tail, and then he acts as kind of a natural flashlight, because it is very, 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 very dark in this game at night. Which I'm sure we'll get to demonstrate here very shortly. So this is a taxidermy stand. You can see I have a dinosaur that I murdered out in the wild, and I kind of took its skin. There's a couple of different ones in here. I've got a green and blue turtle, which is kind of insane colors. They're normally not anywhere near as vibrant as this fella, so I was like, I'm gonna kill him and get his skin. And then we've got the R. Is this an R or I can't remember if this is an R or an X parasaur. It's got like this weird groovy pattern on him. So I was like, again, I'll just, get the skin from it. And then of course our tech or robotic stego, which is pretty nice colors if you ask me. So in here we have a bunch of dinosaurs. Most of them are like this lovely lion friend outside that I'll demonstrate here in a minute. I've got a lot of them. As you can see, I've got like, let's see, that's about 4, and then 6, there's 10, 11. So I have 11 of those guys. basically, I got a male and a female that I really liked, and I bred them to get a whole bunch of them. That way, if I lose one, I have a whole bunch. I have a gas bag, which is basically a giant freaking caterpillar that can kind of float and carry a whole bunch of stuff. I have a climbing raptor, which is not unique to this map, but it is a unique one to like 2 or 3 maps. Basically, it can climb walls when you jump, but it's kind of jank and doesn't work super well. But that was kind of my starting, like, good mount that I had. We have a Magmasaur, which is a giant flaming dragon lizard thing. I don't really want to get a lot of these out because it will make cryo sickness, where if I throw another one out, it will guaranteed be asleep for like an hour, and I don't want to do that. So yeah, I've got some Rexes, I've got some sheep to breed for meat. I have like a whale thing that's a long skinny whale that goes through the water. I have a frog, Ankylosaurus for mining. I've got 3 Desmoduses. These guys are unique to the map. There's one out here that I can demonstrate because it's already out, but these are kind of like my main 3. I have a Daedon, which is for healing. It's like a little warthog fella that does like healing. So as long as it's got food, it'll do healing. Which, some creatures have a lot less health than they do the ability to get knocked out. So, unfortunately, in the attempt to knock it out, you'll end up killing it. So that's why the passive healing warthog is there. So, for creatures that are out here, this is the gas bag. It is essentially a giant caterpillar that can carry a bunch of crap. And it sucks in air, and then you can kind of press the jump button to float around, which is very, very handy for carrying a ton of shit. Like, this guy is perfect for taking a bunch of resources from A to B. The Maywing, I believe, is unique to this map. This guy is really fun because he's basically a flying squirrel. So I'll kind of come up here and again do a little bit of a demonstration. So if I hold down the jump button, he kind of squats down, and then I release and he jumps in the air. And then if I push the sprint button, he opens his little flaps and we can go super fast. And he'll kind of slide across the ground until I stop sprinting. And anything I slide through, rocks or trees, will get destroyed. So we'll go ahead and head back to base here. Have him launch himself in the air and then kind of fly our ass back over. And in we go. The other cool thing about this guy is it is a nursing creature. You might have a hard time seeing there. He's got, let me demonstrate what these ugly things do that I don't like them, but there you go. They kind of squirt milk, which is really gross. But basically, you can't see it, but you can, if you pick up a creature, like a baby creature that has been born or hatched, you can raise it inside of little pouches on the sides of this thing, and it will basically keep them alive and feed them instead of them being starving and stuff. But yeah, so it's kind of a weird multi-purpose platypus slash flying squirrel thing. Very, very good creature. Supposedly good for berries, but I'm not entirely sure I agree with that. I mean, it's definitely faster than a lot of the other creatures I was using to get berries, but I'm not so sure it's a good berry getter myself. This here is our food trough where all of the food for the dinos is. There's berries for the ones that don't eat meat, and then there's cooked meat for the ones that do. These are blood bags. Those are eaten by the bat because the bat is a vampire bat, so it sucks blood. We have here our friend who I've named Drug Dealer 2, which is a bit of an inside joke because I had a horse in the Extinction server called Drug Dealer. So the reason I call him that is because he serves as a mobile mortar and pestle where you can mix stuff and make concoctions. Primarily, my main thing that I would use him for is making narcotic, aka drug dealer. So basically, if you want a creature, 9 times out of 10 you're going to need to knock it out with a trank dart or a club if you're at the early stages of the game. Maybe just your fists, whatever works. But essentially it boils down to 2 different types of character or creature health. So this section here is the health, right? So this is the Shadow Main's health, right? But the Shadow Main and all creatures in the game also have what's called torpidity down here. So anytime you do a damage to the creature by hitting it with something or shooting it or whatever, you're going to do damage to its health and its torpor. Now, some things do more damage to the torpor and knock it out faster, and some things do more damage to the health and kill it faster. A lot of the stuff in this game, the pattern is that there's dual purpose stuff, where if I go up to a tree and I hit the tree with my pickaxe here, I'm going to get a lot more thatch than I get wood. Those are 2 different resources you get from trees, is thatch and wood. But if I use the axe, on the other hand, I'm going to get the opposite effect, where I'll get more wood and less thatch. And there's a lot of that kind of duality in this game, where one thing does one thing and the other thing does the other thing. So health and torpidity are kind of like your 2 healths. Like I said, there's the knockout torpidity and then the actual health that you know, if it loses all of its health, is dead. So essentially there's some creatures that have extremely high health and extremely low torpidity and vice versa. So some things are really easy to knock out and tame, and other things are really, really hard to knock out and tame. And then you have creatures like our blue friend here. This guy is not tamed by knocking him out. So what you have to do for our Shadow Main friend, as he's called here, is you have to sneak up to him when he is doing this number. So when you find him in the wild, he's doing this shit where he's sleeping. And what you have to do is you have to get a live fish, it has to be a live one, in a basket, a fish basket, and you have to sneak up to him real slow like this, and then press the use button to feed him the fish. So then he'll wake up like he's doing here, and then he'll kind of teleport away. And you have to kind of like chase after him. Well, you don't want to chase after him because he might kill you. But basically you wait for him to go back to sleep, and then you feed him another fish until he's tamed. When he wakes up, he's going to do this. He's going to go invisible, and he's going to walk around, and you'll see his footprints on the ground indicating where he is. So it's technically sneaky deaky because you can't see him. You can't actually see his body, but you can see his footprints. So he's not really that hidden because you can kind of still see him based on his footprints. But essentially, you sneak up on him while he's sleeping and give him fish, and eventually he'll tame. Now, you might say, well, why do you want this creature? Well, apart from looking pretty rad, he has a couple of different features, one of which I just demonstrated, which is the camo. But then also he's got this crazy thing. Check this out. Look at how high this guy can jump. Like, that's crazy, right? And then we also have this number where we can teleport strike. And those guys are stunned for a minute. Not to mention, he's just incredibly powerful. And then, like, that bar at the bottom there that's kind of blinking different colors is this crazy pouncing maneuver that, like, it's just kind of like a power strike. It does, like, a bunch of damage. And as you can see, I got, like, a crap load of meat because we have the resource gathering turned way, way up. So I'm going to need to grab all of my cooked meats so that I don't end up dropping this. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop all of this crap at once so that I don't have any of it. Because I don't want, like, any of this stuff. I wanted a couple of raw meats for him to munch on, but basically I'm just going to dump all of that. And then I'm going to put these in his inventory because I want him to munch on the raw meat, and then I want him to carry the cooked meat for me. Because like the food actually does spoil. So you can't really see it, but there's a green bar at the bottom of this. This one's kind of more full. This one's like almost gone. That slowly indicates when this stack is going to have a spoil. And when it spoils, this number that says 42 here is going to drop to 41, and I'm going to have a spoiled meat up in the top corner. So over time, this entire stack will slowly turn into spoiled meat. But further complication is that the player inventory spoils faster than the dinosaur. I don't know why, but the tamed animal timer is slower. So food you want to keep in the dinosaur so that it doesn't spoil. If you're, trying to preserve it. So the Shadow Man is kind of like the end-all be-all creature in this map because it can jump really high, it has the camouflage, invisibility, it has extremely high attack power. It's just a really, really good all-round creature. But, it's limited to being on the ground, so it's not gonna be very quickly able to travel. Although, let me show this. You guys saw the crazy high of the jump, right? So let's show you how far you can go with this. Obviously, verticality is going to play a part of it, where if you're going up, you're not going to travel as far as going down. But check this shit out. Absolutely fucking bananas. Absolutely bananas. I went from all the way up there, all the way past the top of that hill into the castle, down to this water, and I could have gone pretty decently far. I think that's an alpha raptor, if I'm not mistaken. two of them. Let's do a little bit of teleportation strike. And he went away because he's a bitch. Come here, you fucker. He's fast. He's avoiding me because he can't kill me. Oh wow, there's an Alpha Rex as well. I killed one of them. Alpha Rex is gonna get involved now. So I killed the two Alpha Raptors. So part of the problem with that fight is I once again overfilled with stuff and ended up becoming very heavy. So I've got to very kind of quickly here grab my stuff that I want out of here so that I can do another dump because I've got way too much shit again. Okay, and then I'm going to put it all back in. Grab my shoddy shells back. Let's level up his movement speed. Sure, why not? But yeah, so the alpha creatures are a little bit more deadly than the regular ones. They do a lot more damage. I think they're like, I don't know if they're like 10 times more damage than normal, but they're pretty beefy creatures. And like there's like 4 alphas in this one spot. This is kind of insane. I like the colors on this one. I'm gonna get its skin. There we go. I got a tool that lets me get their skin when they're dead, so I wonder if it works on the alpha. I should try that. Oh, I've got an alpha raptor attacking. Notice that it's a little bigger than the regular one, too. It's a little bigger in size. Okay, so I'll get the Alpha Raptor skin if I can do that. Okay. And then we'll claim the Alpha Rex as well. Although I gotta drop some shit. Hold up. Using my keyboard key here just to kind of quickly do this because I'm basically right in front of him. I noticed that the alphas, when they kill something, they kind of sort of get stuck eating it. Like it never actually makes the corpse go away. So basically that Rex, the Alpha Rex, is kind of just stuck there. So let's go ahead and take advantage of that by just kind of getting a sneak attack on his butt. Notice there I killed the corpse. I ate the corpse. So that kind of screwed me over a little bit. If I could have kept him eating the corpse, I would have done that, but the act of attacking makes it so that I munch on the corpse. And therefore I kind of got rid of my bait. Okay, so the alpha is now dead. Go ahead and whack it to get the corpse. Here we go. And I once again have to kind of get rid of some junk that I don't want. It looks like... Okay, it does say it as alpha. Okay. It's weird because it doesn't show an icon of the creature that it is. I find that to be strange. So once again, I'm just going to go ahead and take what I want. And then we'll just drop what I don't want. I don't usually use keyboard mouse. I usually use controller, but the keyboard and mouse is definitely faster to deal with this garbage. Until you try to press a button to accept, and then you gotta use the controller, which is kind of stupid. What I should have done if I was gonna do a bunch of combat is I should have turned off the item or the meat gathering so it didn't fill up with meat the second I killed something. But I typically don't do a whole lot of attacking with this guy. I do if I need to, but I mainly use this guy for more scouting purposes than I do attacking. Although I do a lot of attacking with him because he is on the ground and therefore not, like, I can't just fly away like I can with some of the other shit. So I guess he is kind of more of an enforcer than a scout. But his ability to jump is very handy for getting away if I don't feel like fighting. And we did tame these guys legit. Like, we went in and fed these guys fish basket to get them tamed. The only thing that you see here in front of you that is not legitimate, that we hacked in with cheat codes, is this guy right here. So this guy's native to a different map, so you cannot possibly get him on this map. So I did cheat this one in. However, I got this one right here as my first dragon. He's kind of over on Volcano Island, his kin. I grabbed the egg and flew away with the bat and got chased and burned a lot. I ended up going in the water by mistake because I got too close. It was like pitch black and I couldn't see it. So I had to go and get the egg after killing like every shark in the universe. There were so many fucking sharks. And then, in order to rescue my bat, I had to kill off some dragons that were kind of swooping around. Because the bats are actually powerful enough to kill the dragons because they're ridiculous. This guy's also legitimate. We kind of just got these, me and Danny. We went to Jotunheim and got the eggs for these guys. We did these ones a lot more intelligently in that we... Basically, this map allows you to do this. You can go to the thing and say, I want to go to one of these places, and it will bring up a bubble that will teleport you to a different spot in the map. So, with my big brain, I came to the idea, I'll go to the egg, right, in the nest, and instead of getting it and flying away, I did the thing where I kind of did the teleportation, but I didn't grab the egg until it was about ready to transport me, so I didn't get the aggro of the dragons until it was too late and I was already gone. So, that, like, one of the ways to do it is to go in with the Fjordur, which is the bird that I showed you earlier. Grab the egg and then just run out into the open and let the dragons kill you. Which then you'll respawn back at base, you'll get your little backpack of goodies. It'll have the egg from the dragon nest in it. and you'll basically have the egg back at base. But see, that's not even necessary because this map has the teleportation feature. So just have to get to the egg, sit down next to the egg, do the teleportation feature, and grab the egg at the last second, and then you'll teleport to a better location with the egg in your inventory. This is the bat, the Desmodus. He's called Suicide Bat for a reason. So this guy is extremely good. This guy here is probably the most versatile mount in the entire game. So the reason I say that is because he has a couple of different features that make him very, very helpful. One, you can kind of see I'm able to strafe in midair. That's kind of a nice feature. It's not like the most exciting thing in the world, but it definitely helps when you're trying to get, if you're trying to attack something like the dragons that have to kind of slowly turn like this. You can just kind of strafe over and fuck them up and kill them pretty easily. So, the main, oh wow, 150, that's max level. So the main feature, I might actually tame that guy. In fact, I think I'm gonna do that because that's a max level Rex. So the main thing that this guy is good for is the main reason that you definitely want to have one of these is that this map has a lot of caves and like 3 other sub maps called realms, right? And those sub map realms are considered to be caves by the game code. And so why does that matter? Well, essentially, no creature can go into a cave that flies. None of the flying mounts like the dragons or the Argtavius, which is the eagle, or any of the flying creatures besides the bat can go inside. If you try to, it throws you off and you can't get back on until you command the creature to follow you and have it follow you out of the cave, and then it will let you back on. So the bat is the only flying creature in the entire game that lets you go into a cave while flying on it. So that's the hugely important reason to have one of these. Another hugely important reason is that they have night vision. So you can pretty much see in the dark, which is extremely handy. Oops. Another nice feature is invisibility. Like the Shadow Mane, you can become totally invisible. Which is how we get to the dragon eggs without being killed. So, the problem with the invisibility for the Desmodus, the bat, is you cannot use it unless it's nighttime. So it has to be nighttime in order for that ability to be used. Same thing with the night vision. The night vision does not work during the day. So I can't even turn it on right now because it's not nighttime. But also, as I am currently demonstrating, you can use a gun while on the back of this thing and fly around. It also has the capability of latching to walls and ceilings in order to regain stamina, which is super nice if you're in a cave and you don't want to land on the ground. So, you know, there's so many things that this guy can do that make him very, very helpful. Also, it's a unique creature in that it drinks blood of other creatures, which you get the blood packs basically by attacking them. Yet another feature I have not mentioned is that you can grab smaller creatures and then just suck the blood right out of them by holding them. So I'm kind of helping the T-Rexes out a little bit because I kind of don't want the T-Rex to die since it's really high level and I want to tame it. And they're also kind of getting in my way. So what I'm doing here is I am attacking the T-Rex with this bow that has tranquilizing darts for arrows. It's a level 150 Rex, which is the highest level that the wild dinos can be on the server. So it's gonna take a lot of shots to kill, to down it, essentially. So I'm gonna have to keep shooting this thing for a while. And the bat's wings keep getting in my way, so I keep missing. So pretty much, if you want to knock a creature out, the best place to do it is in the head. Which, you know, makes sense. The brain is what we're trying to incapacitate, so you would want to shoot for the brain. And normally, you'd kind of want to shoot it and let the torpor build up. But this guy's got so much, like, torpor that I'm just gonna kind of keep shooting it. And the reason I'm kind of letting him munch on me a little bit is because if it can't get to you for, like, I don't know, like maybe 10, 15-ish seconds, it gives up and starts walking away. And I want it to keep attacking. Because I want it to stay here, essentially. I don't want it to go away. Now eventually, when its torpor gets high enough, it is gonna start fleeing anyway, because it's gonna be like, oh shit, I'm about to get knocked out. Which is kind of what it's doing now. Okay, never mind. It's kind of staying around. Eventually, I'm gonna knock the thing out. go to sleep. And then I'm going to put food in its inventory while it's asleep. And eventually it's going to wake up and be tamed. But this process takes a little bit because he is the highest level. And therefore he has the highest torpor bar. Remember I said earlier they have the health bar and the torpor bar. So the higher level it is, the more health and torpor it has. And therefore the longer this takes. I should get the magnifying glass. That'll let me see his torpor bar and see how much torpor how close he is to being knocked out. I'm not really concerned about killing him because he's the highest level he could possibly be, so he should have tons of health. Not to mention, anytime he eats something, he gains all of his health back. So, if he munches on something, he's gonna get his health back. I don't think he'll get his torpor back, but I'm not 100% sure about that, so could end up being kind of a fruitless effort. Alright, let's, he's kind of trying to go away from me, so I kind of need to follow him. There he goes. He's down. Damn it. I keep pressing the Y button like I'm gonna put my gun away, but it doesn't work. Okay, so now that it's down on the ground, what I need to do is I need to grab all of this meat that I have, that I've luckily gotten from things I've been killing, and throw that into his inventory. And he's just gonna slowly eat it, and that bar on the bottom underneath the purple one that says taming 0 is going to start filling up with brown from the left, and it will eventually hit the right side and he will be tamed. So keep throwing the stuff in there. I can do this sanguine potion, which consumes blood packs, but then it makes it so that I get an instant 30% tame on whatever I'm working on. So if I get him to 70% tamed, I can just use that sanguine potion and he'll just instantly be done. Which I will do. But I need him to start feeding and getting some tame progress. So I'm going to go ahead and switch my shoddy back. And I think I might actually head back to grab my light pet because it's getting dark. I'll be able to demonstrate the night vision, but I want to be able to use the light pet as well. I might also grab a Pokeball to throw the Rex in because I don't have a saddle ready for him, and I'm not gonna be able to ride him back. So I'll just put him in a Pokeball, which is nice. That's one of the nice things about this map, is that you can use Pokeballs to transport dinos easily. The problem is that when you use one, there's like a 2 or 3 minute cooldown, where if you use another one, the dino that comes out is like asleep for like 20 minutes. So it kind of sucks. So we'll head on back over, use our night vision since it's now kind of getting dark. And as you can see, I can now see in the dark and can easily identify any creature that's around, including our Rex friend, which should be a little bit more this way. Should be like right here, kind of sort of going down a hill. Yep, there he is, laying there in the ground next to a dodo. Oh, I forgot to get my light pet. Oops. But I got the Pokeball, so I'll be able to put... And he's kind of like clipping through the environment, but I mean, that's because he's like laying down. And the developers did not like make it so that the body conforms to the geometry. So he kind of clips through the floor a little bit. But yeah, it's gonna be a little bit for this guy to wake up. There's not like anything around, so technically I could probably just leave him be for a little while. I've got a decent amount of meat inside him. That should keep him fed for a while. If it were like in a dangerous spot, which this kind of sort of can be on occasion, I'd want to stay close and guard it, because anything that's like a raptor or anything that eats meat will basically just come over and eat him, and it'll kill him. So you do have to watch out for that. So yeah, I'll just grab another creature for funsies. I'll get the light pet and one of the dragons and fly around. I'll get the Crystal Isles one, which is super cool. So we'll go ahead and land our ass back down. Go inside our base here. As you can see, I have it lit all up with lights because, you know, dark. So we'll grab our friend here. Turn on our light. Pick up our friend. And as you can see, he kind of generates some natural light from his tail. So it's very helpful. We'll go up here to our dragon landing pad and grab our cool Ember one. Actually, I'm going to turn off... Oh shit, you're still following me. Let me make him land real quick. Okay. So I'm going to turn my light pet off for a minute so you can see the glowy effect. So we'll take him out for a spin. As you can see there, the wings are glowing in the dark. Very, very cool. It's very hard to see where I'm going because the environment's super dark. But generally speaking, we know our T-Rex friend is somewhere in this vicinity because there's the water from the lake. Yeah, he's right here. Turn my torch out. Yep, so you can see the glowy effect on the ember. They call this one is an ember crystal. So it still does the fire breath that a fire dragon would do, but it is the crystal one, so it kind of glows in the dark and is very cool. demonstrate the fire breath real quick over here where I don't hurt the T-Rex. As you can see, you can do some fire. It burns a lot of stamina to do that though, so you really have to put a lot of points into stamina. So we got our friend here. I'm gonna turn my light pet back on. Get his little tail and bob turned on. He's got to level up as well, so just do the emission range, I guess. And as you can see, nice amount of light generated. Not far enough that we could see like super far, but it's close enough that you can kind of see stuff coming. And then I've got this little, they call these guys the chibi pets. There's a little tiny baby green horse. It looks super cute. Those are part of the Halloween update that we permanently have on right now because it's an unofficial server, and it came out, we turned it on pretty much at Halloween, so it's basically permanently have the Halloween colored dinos spawning around and some of the Halloween cosmetic stuff is available. That looks like a Tech Rex. That is a Tech Rex. It is level 24. Very pretty lights. So yeah, once this guy gets to 70%, we will utilize the potion, Sanguine Potion. But yep, this is pretty much the ultimate creatures of Ark showcase, kind of. I don't have, like, there's a tech or robotic dragon that's super cool. I would have cheated that in, but I felt like that was kind of too much. I only cheated in this dragon here that I'm riding because you can't get them on this map, and it's essentially just a fire dragon that looks cool. So it's if they had a crystal dragon skin that I could apply to the fire one that I already had, I probably would have just done that. Because you know it's more of a cosmetic thing than more than like, oh, I wanted a better creature and I wasn't good enough to get one. So if these guys had been in the map, I would have gone for them, but they did not have them, and I really wanted the crystal dragon to get the light effect. So what I did was I was like, okay, well, I'll go get the regular fire dragon to prove that I can do it to myself. And then once I've proven myself worthy, I'll spawn in this one. So, but as you can see, this is a day and night cycle in this game, and basically the same as Minecraft and Terraria and various other games. You can tell how close to morning or night it is based on the position of the sun and the moon. So as you can see, the moon is kind of slowly dropping there behind that tree. So nighttime is coming to an end. So these lights in the background there, like the green one there, well, I guess that's not, is that one? I think that's the green obelisk. But those, the yellow and the purple there, those are called supply drops. Basically, they would normally contain random pre-made items or blueprints to make items of different quality or rarity, I should say. So it goes, white is the crappiest, green or blue. I think green is the second crappiest, blue is the third. I think purple, yellow, then red, in that order. is like the red has the best and the white has the worst. So, since you normally have to defeat bosses or have a tech replicator already to make the element, what my friend Danny did is he set up the beacons. Those are what we call the beacons, the supply drops. He made it so that some of those, like that purple one over there and the green one and the blue one, drops element. I think he set it so that the green one drops 10, the blue one drops 15, and the purple one does 20. And occasionally, they do have a chance of dropping their normal loot, but most of the time it's going to give element in various amounts. Pretty much it was when we were playing the Extinction map, we did not want to have to constantly do boss fights to get the element. So we set it to get element out of the beacons instead. Because it's still kind of a challenge because you have to land where the beacon is and grab stuff out of it. But it's a lot easier than doing the bosses over and over, which is not the same. Like, it's not like Terraria where you can craft a whole bunch of the spawning items and then continue to do the bosses 1,000 times. You have to get one set of the relics and then one set of the relics, and then you can do a boss fight, and then you have to go get all of the relics again in order to do the boss fight again. So in order to combat the needing to do the same thing over and over again to do the boss fights to get the element, we just kind of set it to get element from the supply drops. It's one of those things where it's nice that the devs put that in for us to let us have more of a control over how we want to play the game. Makes the game nicer to play, but it has the unintended consequence of making the game a little easier than it should probably be. So we're pretty much flying around with dragons and doing end game stuff right away. But it's nice that the developers let you do what you want and have control over it instead of being at the mercy of the grind. Because this game is very, very, very grindy. You will spend a very long time doing anything in this game. Like this T-Rex here, on an official server, at this level, this would probably be a week-long event. So, thanks to our server tweaking, it will not take that long. Thankfully. It will take, I think this is going to end up taking probably about 20 minutes or so, maybe 30. Which is a hell of a lot better than 3 weeks. So, word of warning, if you are interested in playing this game and want to enjoy it the way I am doing it with my friend Danny, make sure you look up the settings to tweak. My suggestion for what settings you should be playing with are XP gain, resource gathering, level ups percentage for dinosaurs that are tamed, maybe resource gathering for the dinosaurs themselves, because there is individual sliders for your character hitting stuff with your tools and a dinosaur attacking a tree or a rock and getting stuff that way. Those are two separate sliders. Other than that, I think we're playing at nearly vanilla settings. The difficulty is at... It's either at normal difficulty, like the official server difficulty, or slightly higher. Because the dinosaurs have a max level of 150 for the standard creatures and 180 for tech creatures, which is the robot ones. I think the dragons can be higher too, because Danny's ice dragon is 175, which is 5 levels short of what we think is the max. So he got really lucky on that one. As you can see, this guy here is at 30%, so we still got a little bit of a time to wait for him to be finished. So I'm gonna go head back and dump off my light pet and put away some of my tools and stuff, because I don't need the bow anymore, the ascendant bow. A lot of the tools we have in this server we got from the beacons, and those were vanilla. The element being in the supply drops is not vanilla. That's a tweak that my friend Danny had to really research to figure out how to do. So if you want the element to drop in the beacons like it is for me in this, you're gonna need to look some stuff up to figure that out. Unfortunately I don't have any links for you on that, so apologies. But just kinda Google it and see if you can find it. If I get comments asking for it, I may update the description of the video to include that information if my friend Danny is willing to give it to me. I imagine he will. What it's gonna be is, can he find it? Because, and I mean, he probably should be able to, because he just did it like a week ago. So, he should be able to find it again. I suppose I could, actually. Let's see if I have a saddle spare in here. I have saddles. I might have a Rex one in here. Maybe. It's kind of not looking that way. Looks like I'm gonna have to make one. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and make one. Because I've got a blueprint for it here. Make a better one. I think my friend Danny has an Ascendant one, which is like the best quality, highest amount of armor damage, or armor. Ooh, I actually need more stuff than I have in here. Need more hide and more metal. So we'll get the metal out of there, out of that inside here. And let's go get some hide out of the replicator. Ooh, I actually need to go get some because I don't have any in here. Shit. Although, actually, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure I stored a bunch of it in here. Good. So I kind of want to get back to my downed Rex because he's potentially gonna get munched if I don't get my ass back there. Okay, so make this saddle, craft one. Okay, we've got our saddle. We're gonna throw that in here. Take the blueprint and go put it back in our bookshelf. I'll take the ice dragon this time, just to kind of mix it up a little. some water from my canteen. And there's the beacon way up there, so it's not going to come down quite so soon. Let's take a look at our friend and see how he's doing. Should be okay. There wasn't anything around. Yeah, he's still okay. Yep, he's at 40%. As soon as he hits 70, I'm gonna use that sanguine potion, and he'll instantly tame. So yeah, the ice dragon is basically the exact same as the fire one, but it does a little bit of a different effect. It kind of does a slowing effect. Unfortunately, I instantly killed that guy, but pretty much if it doesn't die from it, it will slow it way down and make it really easy to catch up with, or it'll be slow to get to you if it's attacking you. But the visual effect of it is about the same as the fire. So those other three, there was 4 things in there. 3 of those are blueprints to make stuff, which I would not recommend doing because the beacon is not going to stay there for more. Like it has a durability of 100, which slowly decreases over like I don't know how many seconds per like what you call a tick, but it eventually disappears. And some of those recipes are very, very, very great. Like the tech replicator is one of the most insane recipes in the game. So if you are trying to do a tech replicator, you do not want to do it at a drop pod because it will disappear long before you put all the resources inside. Unless you got like 20 people each carrying a 20th of the amount of stuff you need to build that replicator, there's no way you're getting it done at a beacon. What you want to do instead is you want to go to the obelisks, which there's the red one over there. I think the blue one is off that way somewhere, and the green one is over there. Basically, you go to that, there's going to be a terminal on the ground at the bottom of the obelisk, and you put your crap inside, and then you craft the replicator. And then once you have the tech replicator, you can basically build anything. And not to mention, it has like a million slots, so you can basically load it with all of your junk, which is super nice. I'm going to keep those electronics because I actually think I'm starting to run low on those. Dragons start with extremely bad stamina and extremely bad melee damage. So you run the danger of getting killed thinking, oh, I'm on a dragon. I'm going to be able to murder anything and everything. Not true, as it turns out. The dragons are very, very fragile. They have, like, no defense because they don't have saddles. The saddle provides a lot of defense for most creatures. So there's no defense. It has, this one, let's see, how much... This one has about 3,000 health, which is pretty good, but like the one that I started with, the fire one, had like 600 health or like 800 health or something. This is a very low number. and I attacked a Stegosaurus. I had 100 and something melee damage, which is terrible, and I couldn't kill the Stego. I burned all of the dragon's stamina and basically almost died. I had, like, out of the, like, 1,000 or so health, 800 health or whatever, I had 200 health left. I was, like, an inch from death. Or, no, was it 200 or was it 20? It was a very, like, almost zero number. Might have been 20. So I had to kind of hobble away because I didn't have enough stamina to fly or do anything attack-wise. So I had to flee for my life. So pretty much you need to do stamina and melee damage. Probably more so the stamina than the melee damage because the stamina dictates how long you can fly in the air as well. As well as doing the breath attack and the chomp. If it runs out of stamina, you're pretty much sitting still waiting for your stamina to come back, which sucks. And then the melee damage obviously dictates how much damage you do to a creature that you're attacking, and it affects both the bite, which is this number here, where I am biting, and it also impacts the frost breath, which is this. So you can see up in the top right corner that little lightning bolt kind of got like halfway, and then it filled back up as the dragon ate food. So keep an eye on that. Pretty much, you want to be always managing your creature's stamina and making sure it never runs out. And that includes things on the ground. Because a creature on the ground that runs out of stamina is going to be slowed way down. And it's going to be unable to really attack very well. You'll still be able to attack even with 0 stamina, but it will not be very effective and you will be rooted in place, basically. So, don't let your stamina get to 0, is basically what I'm getting at. Creatures, that's not terribly hard because their stamina is way, way higher. If we take a look at my stamina, my character has 200, which is like nothing. But the fundamental thing you have to know about this game is that your character, your man or woman, is weak as shit. And that, like, you can tweak the settings to make your character a little bit stronger, but I think even with the maximum amount of leverage you can give yourself, you're still gonna get teabagged by the dragon, or by the dinosaurs. Especially starting out. In the early stages of this game, probably for the first 20 or so levels, you're gonna be getting your butt kicked by damn near everything you see. So, first timers, start on the beach. Stay close to the water. Don't go towards the tree line. And just kind of hang out and craft stuff. Build yourself a thatch hut. Build some clothing. Build a spear. Build a slingshot. Club, maybe, for knocking stuff out. You want to work towards getting a bow and a mortar and pestle so you can make the narcotic necessary to make the tranquilizer arrows. Tranquilizer arrows will allow you to take down hostile shit like raptors, T-Rexes like our boy here. Couple of things you can knock out and tame that way. A lot of the early stuff that came out when the game was initially released. They didn't start adding tame creatures where you feed them shit passively for like a while. Like the Shadow Mane, you have to sneak up on it and give it fish. That's not something that was in the base game. That pterodactyl over there, that's like our boy here. You gotta shoot it and down it and then feed it. It's very hard to do because those fuckers fly away. So what you need to do is you need to build a bola, which is a rock and a string that you throw around the pterodactyl to pin it in place and like trap it. That'll keep it in place for about 10 seconds, which should give you some time to shoot the crap out of it with arrows. Which, again, you really don't want to be rapid fire on those because when you shoot a trank arrow into a creature, it slowly spreads the, I guess you want to call it the narcotic, into their system and makes them get knocked out slowly over time. So fire an arrow, wait about probably like 2 seconds at the very most, maybe 1, and then shoot another arrow. And just keep doing that very, very slowly, keeping an eye on it, because if it starts getting bloody, that means you're killing it. And if you shoot it too much more, it's going to just die. It's going to lose all of its normal health bar, and it's going to die. So you kind of have to back off and let it heal, or you could get a creature that does passive healing, which is the Dodon or the Daedon or whatever you want to call that pig thing. There's also a snow owl that has a special ability to heal stuff. If you do the right, basically the same button I'm doing for this guy to do the ice breath. The owl, the snow owl, does a healing effect if you hold the button for that. Our friend here is almost done. We're gonna slap the saddle on him and then throw him in the Pokeball and fly back to base. I could run him around and level him up, but I don't think I need to do that tonight. I'm just gonna Pokeball his ass and probably actually hop off because it's midnight. I didn't realize how late it was. This guy's getting real close. I'll use my Sanguine Potion to finish the job. Technically, every creature in the game that you tame this way with the knocking out, and maybe even the ones that you feed too, you're supposed to be able to use the Sanguine Potion. And remember, this comes from the bat, the Desmodus. You need to have the Desmodus to make this potion. That is exclusive to the Desmodus. It takes blood packs in its inventory and turns them into the Sanguine Potion. Oh, sure. Literally like 1% that I can use the potion. But yeah, these guys, these dragon friends are supposed to be the best, one of the best creatures in the map. The best creature of the game can be debated. In my opinion, it's the Dodon or the Desmodus, because it has so many useful abilities, and it can go in caves. So it is, in my opinion, the best creature overall. Great for scouting, great for taming, great for exploration, you name it. It's even good at attacking. I mean, if you tweak the server like me and Danny have, you'll be able to kill dragons, wild dragons, with ease. Which may sound crazy, but that's a factor of our server tweaks. Was that we wanted our tames to be ultra powerful. And they are. They are very, very powerful. I used the Desmodus to take out probably at least 2 or 3 ice dragons at once. Which you would think that's kind of insane. You shouldn't be able to do that. And it's like, yeah, probably not. But like I said, me and Danny are more interested in having fun than doing things the right way. So if you don't really want to follow our example, you don't have to. So the T-Rex has obviously your standard chomping ability, but it's also got this. Classic Jurassic Park T-Rex roar, which is very cool. I don't know if it gives the T-Rex a boost of its attack. Because there are some dinosaurs, like the Shadowmane male has a similar feature where it can roar and it will essentially have an attack boost. A female Shadowmane has a group cloaking ability, but it only works if there is a male Shadowmane with it. It has to be mate boosted. That's what that means, is that there has to be a male and a female together. Very close. So if you have mate boosted Shadowmanes and you're riding on the female, if you do the camouflage ability, all of the other dinosaurs that are following you within a certain radius will also be cloaked. Like the entire party. Which is very, very nice. But the problem with that is you gotta have 2 Shadowmanes running around together. Which is kind of stupid. Whereas the roar for the males, all you need for that is to just be on a male Shadowmane, and you can do it whenever you want. With no restrictions. Like, the female requires mate boost with the male. But the male's ability does not require the female at all. So that climbing raptor right here just came up and oh shit, I think I got rid of my oh dear, I think I got rid of those dermises. Crap. Unless they might be in the Shadowmane, let me go check. So yeah, that climbing raptor just tried to eat my face. Because if I'm off of my mount, any wild dinosaurs that are hostile will prefer to kill me over anything. Unless they're already attacking something else. And you can kite the thing attacking you to a different dino and have it get distracted by the other dino. But if you're the only thing a wild dinosaur that eats meat sees, it's going to come at you and kill you, if it can. Which is why I carry around this boy. But I have my dragon set to passive. I keep them all that way. Because basically, if I'm like standing next to it and I'm being attacked, all I gotta do is hop right on and I'm good to go. So the problem is that if you set these guys to neutral, or as I have my shadow main set to attack your target, this guy will fly around in circles above you. And if you want to hop back on, you can't because it's too high up. And if the thing that you're getting attacked by is killing the shit out of you, and this guy's flying around above you, you're screwed. And you'll end up dying, and you'll have to make it back to your dragon in order to get him back, which might be rather difficult depending on where you're at. So I keep all of my flyers set to passive so that I can quickly get back on them. Now, that does make them vulnerable. It does mean that when something attacks them, they're not going to move. They're going to just sit there and take it. So you got to be careful with that. If you die and they're set to passive, the creature that killed you is going to focus on your tame and just go to town until it dies. And this creature, it will not do anything to defend itself, which is the nature of it being passive. So you really, really got to be careful with that. It is a tough compromise to make with the flyers, in that if you set them to passive, they might die, they might get killed. But if you set it to neutral, they take off and start flying in circles and you can't get back on them. So, something to keep in mind. These guys that stay on the ground are a lot nicer about that, because they, you can kind of run up to it and get back on it. Generally, when this guy gets attacked or starts attacking shit, it's generally going to be like right in front of it, so it's not going to move very far. So I keep this guy set to attacking target, because if something is hurting me, I want this thing to react and fight back. Now, there is another setting, neutral. But neutral is only good if if this guy himself actually gets hit. If I take damage, but he doesn't, I don't think he does anything. I think the creature in neutral has to be attacking him. But if I have it set to attacking target, anything that I am currently fighting, it's going to jump in and start assisting me. So I keep this guy on attacking target, because that makes him spring into action pretty much immediately. So let's check out our tech, or our alpha creatures. Let's see if it'll do those. No, not really. What I was hoping for was it would do the effect where it has the fire around them, but unfortunately it does not. That one is still kind of nice looking though, so I think I will keep it. Let's see how this one looks. And it's just kind of like a regular raptor. Doesn't really look that exciting. So I'll just drop this one on the ground. Unfortunately, no fire effects. Oh, oops. Oh yeah, the snake. Problem with the snake is that the snake is underneath this thing and you can't see him because the developers did not put him high enough on the platform, so you can't see it. So let's throw our raptor in there. Very, very nice. Bright red. This would normally be what the alphas would look like. This bright red color. This is exactly what they would look like, but they'd be on fire as well. So they'd look like this red, this deep, bright, nasty red, and they would have fire coming off. So we'll put our new Rex level 150 in here. So I've got another Rex. What is this? Oh, it's male. It's another male. That's unfortunate. I call that one Sunny D because it's like bright orange and yellow. It's Halloween colors. Unfortunately, it's another male, so it's not going to be helpful for breeding, but that one is the maximum level. 156. That's as high as it'll go wild. You can get a creature up to like 300 something. But the wild ones will only be what the hell? How is that one so high? Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So that's a tech Rex that I found. This one's the one I just caught down here. It's level 223, but it was 150 when I caught it. So it went up however many 223 minus 150 is. That's like a little less than 100 levels, like some 70 or 80 levels that it gained just by being tamed. So it's very, very potent. It's a very powerful Rex. So go ahead and put our animal parts trophies away and our bones stuff. I'm just gonna put one of those in and put that in there because I got too many of these. I'll go down and put the element in the tech generator. Keep it running. It doesn't, I think it takes it's like a couple of hours. Like 4 hours for one single element to get used. And there's thousands in here. So basically this generator is going to go for like a straight, like probably 2 or 3 weeks of real time before it runs out. And I'll probably be back on to fill it up before then. I've been playing this. This is the reason why you haven't seen me stream in a while. Is because I've been playing this like non-stop for like months. I took break to do the mouse stream, which I will be returning to very probably the next stream I do. I'm going to do that. I was going to do it tonight, but I wanted to try this. Last time I tried streaming Ark, I had a black screen for the entire stream. It was like 3 hours of nothing. You could hear my voice, but no game audio and no game video. And I was very angry because it was a very, very long stream. and I had no idea I was just generating nothing. So that kind of sucked. This guy here is an incubator for eggs. I'll go up there and show that. So pretty much you put your egg inside this thing. It goes in one of these slots. I already have it set to the appropriate temperature to hatch eggs, which is 110 for most of the eggs in the game that require hatching. So you put it in this little tiny screen, this little rectangular guy there, fills up from the left to the right up to 100, and then when it is at 100 you come in, you select your egg, and you say hatch, and then the creature will hatch. Or if you don't like the egg and you don't want it anymore, you can click crack egg to destroy it, and it'll instantly destroy it. But once the egg is hatched, the baby is deposited on the floor here, and you kind of have to lead it away from that spot because it'll start out really small and will eventually end up super big. So you want to make sure to move it away. Typically people make the mistake of putting the incubator inside, and then they have to demolish their base to get the creature out. So I thought I was being smart by putting it out here on this platform, but unfortunately the creatures still kind of spawn in there, in between it and the wall there. So I have to kind of go over here and kind of run away at an angle to get it to follow me off of the platform and into the grass. But once it's out here in the open, it can grow as big as it wants. But I know that's kind of a lot of explanation that probably is going way over anyone's head, but like I said, there is a lot to this game. It's a very fun building game with base building and crafting of stuff. But it is also very, 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 very hard if you're playing with standard settings. If you're playing with settings like we have, it's a little easier, but you know, it's still gonna kick your ass if you're not careful. I pretty much have, like, I want to say close to 2,000 or 3,000 hours in this game, maybe more like 1,000 or 800 or something, not as crazy, but it's a lot. And the reason that I have a lot of hours is because this game is very grindy. So again, if you're looking to play a game quickly, this is not the game for you. So yeah, if you want to play this game, recommendation is you find somebody that's already playing it and make a character in their group, their server. Have them find you, because you're probably not going to be able to tell them where you are. They're just going to have to look for you based on what place you spawn at on the map. Let's show you what that looks like. So here's what you're going to see when you start the game. You're going to see a map like this, and you're going to have buttons over here that are kind of grayed out right now, but you're going to pick one of these locations that's going to highlight blue on the map where you're picking it. Like if you click this one, I don't know where that one's going to be, but let's say this button corresponds to this region right here. You're going to spawn somewhere inside of that circle in a random location, and your friend is going to need that information to find you. So before you click one of these buttons and then say spawn me in, you're going to want to create your character first of all, because there's a bunch of sliders that can make you look like a Smurf or a roid raging big muscle having crazy man, or you can be super short or super tiny and super skinny, whatever you're feeling like. It's not like the most comprehensive editor because you can't tweak like your individual face pieces and like you can't like give yourself green or purple skin, unfortunately. But once you have your person made in the screen, like right here in the middle, you're gonna pick one of these to say I want to be at one of these circles. Your friend that you have that plays this already will probably be like spawn like here or there or wherever, and then you'll pick one, you'll respawn in, and you'll like scratch your hand because it's got that. If you see on his wrist there, when I bring it up, you see that little diamond. He's gonna scratch his arm and be like, oh, there's a weird thing there. And then you'll be kind of turned loose to do whatever you want. So yeah, again, if you're playing with your friends that have already played this a lot, have them find you, have them take you to safety, start building shit to get your XP gain going. Eventually, once you start getting like the ability to tame stuff, start small. Try to do like a dodo or a dilo first, just to kind of get a feel for how to do it. And then you can kind of work your way up the chain from that to like say a raptor or like something that's not as dangerous but can still probably kill you if you piss it off, like a triceratops or a stegosaurus or something like that. And then eventually you'll be able to do like the raptors and the allosauruses and the T-Rexes and the crazy stuff like that. But it takes a long time to get there, so if you're having trouble, you're getting killed a lot, just know that that's how it is in this game. It's very brutally tough. It does not fucking hold your hand in the slightest, especially considering you are not told how to do anything when you start playing. It is going to have you select your character and build it, and then tell you to pick a respawn point, and then you're just going to be thrown right the hell in. You're going to be like, what do I do? So, get a friend that knows how to play already. Check out the wiki if you don't have a friend to play with. If you're playing this version on, I don't know if this is Unreal 4 or 3 or whatever it is, but this version does not have official servers anymore because they turned them off. They turned over their attention to the remaster, which is this exact same game built out with Unreal 5 engine. It looks really nice, but it's another $40. So if you've already got Ark 1, like this game that I'm playing, just play this. Because the new version only has the island map, which is the very first map that they had. And it also only has the engrams, which are the recipes that you could learn in this menu right here. These are the items you can make. And right now I have it set to the island, which this is the stuff that you'll see if you play the new one, the remastered game. They do have these buttons in the remaster, but they don't work. My friend Danny owns the game, and he said if you click Scorched Earth, for example, it doesn't bring up the Scorched Earth stuff. It simply turns this lighter blue color and it does nothing. So eventually down the line in the remaster, you're going to be able to toggle these on, and it's going to give you engrams from all of these other maps, which is really nice because like some of this stuff is amazingly cool. Like, there's a canoe, that's kind of just okay. I should probably make one of those just for fun. Let's turn off the island for a sec. So, there's not a whole lot of these, as it turns out. This one did not have that much. Wow. That's cool. That's really cool. So you could grow stuff inside if you had that one. So plants that you grow in your crop plots here require sunlight in order to grow normally. But that tech one I was just looking at has its own light source. So you could grow crops in a cave that you would normally not be able to do. But yeah, like I was saying, these are the recipes that you learn over time. As you can see, I've got quite a few of them unlocked already. There is a recipe that you can do that will generate a potion called Mind Wipe. And what that does is it basically allows you to respec and you forget all of the stuff that you learned. Which, you might say, well, why do I want to do that? Because, I don't want to not know how to make some of this stuff. This right here is why. All of these are blueprints. Basically, I can take it out, as you saw me do earlier with the the Rex saddle, which is that guy right there. You put it in your inventory. This one says that it needs to be made in the fabricator. So I have to go to the fabricator and just to demonstrate, it says that right there on the left in red, it says can be crafted at colon fabricator. So that means it has to be done in this guy right here, which is the fabricator. There are blueprints that say they have to be made in the smithy. There are blueprints that have to be made in your inventory, so you have to go to crafting and make them here. And there are still yet further recipes that have to be made at the big boy, the tech replicator, which is this guy right here, this ball. This is like the last and ultimate crafting station, is this guy right here. So I believe all of the recipes that go in the fabricator and the smithy can be made in here, I think. So, technically speaking, you still want to keep these around because there are some recipes that for some reason you can't craft everything in the tech replicator. Some of it has to be made in the fabricator and the smithy. So I keep those around just in case. And I recommend doing that for everything that you make, minus a couple of things like the smelter in the crappier one. The reason I've got the smithy and the fab is because there are actually some blueprints that require, or engrams that I've learned that require the use of the smithy specifically. Like it says it has to be made in smithy. So I got this water pipe. You can go up to it and drink out of it. Get water for your, because there's if you see that little teardrop icon towards kind of the bottom down here. So this top one is the level up indicator that tells you how close you are to leveling up. This one right here is like a bag or briefcase that shows you how much weight you have right now. I appear to not be carrying anything, so I'm very lightweight, so this isn't very full. This one is the water meter, how much fluid you have and whether you need to drink more or not. This one here is the food So same concept for food instead of drink. This is your stamina, which is the lightning bolt, and then the health is at the very bottom in the right corner. And as you can see, I'll demonstrate. So I get on the Maywing. If you look up again in this upper corner, these same icons appear, and these are for the Maywing. So this is the Maywing's health, this is the Maywing's stamina, food, weight, and level up. And then all the ones down here at the bottom are for my character. So all of the creatures in the game have all of the stats that you would expect them to have. So if there's something that makes debuffs that make them weaker, or if there's something that makes your allied creatures or yourself stronger, then you can do that to anything and everything you wish. If, let's say, you decide you want to make it easier for the creature to kill you, you would just do the buff and put it on it, and it will kill you. No idea why you would want to do that, but you know, it's there. But yeah, this little castle is really nice. As you can tell, it doesn't have an actual castle in it. I think the intention is that you're supposed to build one in here. We kind of have our little crap hovels that aren't very exciting looking, but they, you know, serve the purpose of living in, so it doesn't matter. We'll take a look at Danny's stuff real quick before I hop off. But we got, this is Danny's 175 Ice Dragon. It is very powerful. We got Danny's birds, his shadow mains that he has 3 of. He has a griffin. He has a gas bag, an ankleo, and I forget what else. I'm pretty sure he's got some more shit over here. I think he's got his bat over here. Yeah, he's got a couple of bats. Yeah, we bred a lot of these bats because they're super good. He's got his climbing raptor is this guy here. I'll do a little demonstration of what that looks like just briefly. So I've got my climbing raptor, I hold down the button to jump, and then I am now on the wall. And it doesn't stay, so you kind of have to jump, wall climb, and you can kind of press A repeatedly. I think you actually have to press A as you climb in order for him to do it right. It's a little hard to get down, but once you have it down, it's pretty easy. And then you can just use that to climb up a sheer cliff wall, which is nice. So that was kind of our go-to in the beginning. Because the egg, for those guys, you have to grab the egg out of the nest. I'll show you what those look like. So those nests are literally right down here. They're all over this area. I'm trying to find one here. Hold on. Okay, I'll go invisible here so they don't get pissy with me. Yeah, so as you can see, there's wild versions of that creature running around. So the nest is right there, and there's one right there. And that orange stink That's an egg. There's a blue egg in there. You kind of can't see it too well, but it's that little dark blue kind of dot right there in the corner of that nest. And if we go over to this other one over here, there's probably one in here as well. Oh no, there's actually not one in there. Okay. But you get the idea. It's that you can tell by the orange like crap coming off of it. And like I said, those nests are all over this area. Like if I go up here, I thought there was one up here, but I guess not. But they're all around the outer perimeter of this castle. So if you find this castle, which is right there where that arrow, the blue arrow, spinning around, and there's literally a castle icon painted on the map there. The climbing raptor nests are all around the base of this castle. So if I go down here, there's like a fence down here, and there should be more of them. I think I'm on the wrong side again here. There's like a spot that kind of goes underneath. Oh, yeah, it was actually there. It was supposed to be there. There's supposed to be some nests right here, I think, is supposed to be one. They should be like right here. I think they've gotten destroyed or something because they're not there. But they should be all around this area. Like I think there's some up here even. I go up here a little ways. Should be some nests like up here. I'm not seeing any strangely, but they should be up here. Should be at least one. I don't know, maybe we kind of murdered them all off, but basically it was that pile of like twigs and shit that I showed you with the blue egg. Like I said, there's supposed to be more of them around, but I think they've... I want to say the egg probably despawns at some point when it runs out of like fertilization, and then I guess it disappears. But yeah, so it's basically, if I can find one here. Well, you already saw it, but basically a circle of like bones and leaves and shit, and the egg is like sitting inside of the nest. Maybe there's one out here. There probably won't be any over here because we built a trap for the griffins up here, so there's probably not going to be any up here. Let's see if there's some down here. Should be at least one, like right around here somewhere. There's not many of them. I'm actually kind of surprised. Because, like, they're normally all over the place. But I'm actually having trouble finding them, so, yeah. There's one right there. That orange circle. Yeah. And that name, Dino-Choose Nest, and the climbing raptor itself, there's your raptor that's in Jurassic Park. Those are the ones that are in Jurassic Park. That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the name that it has is the name for the actual raptors that were in Jurassic Park. Velociraptors are apparently very tiny. So, just a dinosaur fun fact. They picked Velociraptor for the ones they featured in the movie because, was it Stephen King or whoever was directing it was like, the Velociraptor sounds cooler. Even though they knew it was not the actual name for that creature. They just kind of wanted it to sound cool. But, yep, that is Ark. I guess another thing I will mention about this particular area is that these big giant doors are not actually here by default. These are actually doors that Danny crafted, and he placed them so good that they look like they belong here. They look like they're part of the map, but as you can kind of tell, if I stand in the middle of the arch, the middle of the door does not line up with the middle of the archway. So that should kind of clue you in to the fact that these doors don't really, like that one he got like perfect. That one is like dead on, straight in the middle. And then this one over here is a little less good of lined up. It's got also this little hatchway here. As you can see, I kind of just put like a basic bitch door. I have a more strong and sturdy door out here to kind of keep the riffraff monsters outside, like those guys down there. And then I've got some lights to kind of light it up at night so that you can see in here. But yeah, that's pretty much the Ark Server for Fjordur. I didn't do the different realms. I might do that on another stream. But there are 3 realms. Oh, my thing. I need to get rid of him. Need to put his light bulb out. Oh, it's already off. Okay, good. But yeah, there's 3 realms. You can't see them on this map because they're all stacked underneath each other. Everything you see here on this map is in this world that we're in right now. But if I, let's say, go to Realm Teleportation and I pick, let's say, Jotunheim. Jotunheim is the cold realm. Whoops. Hold up. Asgard is the kind of like a arid plains desert, and it has like the place where you get the shadow mains, like that guy. It's a good place to get gas bags on Asgard. And then the last one is Vardaland, I think. Vardaland is really pretty. There's lots of big trees and plants and shit everywhere. It looks very, almost like Fern Gully, honestly. It's kind of like a big mythical forest or something. Very, very pretty. But we'll have to do those on the next stream, because this one, we're at midnight already, so I gotta kind of end the stream. But I thought I'd show you guys around and show off some of the cool stuff that we have in the server and some of our cool tames. So, hope you guys enjoyed the first part. Let me know if you liked it. Throw a comment, throw a like on the video, something. Let me know if you like this video, and if you want to see more of this, then I will do a part 2. where I go over the different realms and kind of showcase what they have. There's plenty of videos that do that already, but I figured, might as well show you from my perspective and tell you kind of about the things that we've done, as opposed to what the place has, which you can easily look up online. This castle area is about the extent of our building that we've done in the server. I have built a couple of other things in different places, but not anything. Nothing anywhere close to as elaborate as this. This is my home base, so it's obviously huge and very complex. But most of the time when I'm out and about in the map, the only thing I'm going to build is kind of like a place to respawn at, like a platform and a bed, and that's it. Or like a hut to huddle in and cook stuff. Or in the case of there's an ocean platform I put out in the water that I'll show on a future video. I have a tree stand where I get amber from the tree. I think that's about it, honestly. I can show off some of the caves next time too. There's a couple of caves that look kind of neat. Obviously there's the 0G area, which I'm not going to show because that's been done to death by people on YouTube. And I'm not going to be doing anything different there because I don't have a base in there or anything. I will show a nice area that I don't know is on YouTube as much, but there's some little air pockets in the water that I think are really cool, and I'll probably show those off in part 2 if we do a part 2. But, yep, go ahead and throw out likes or, one sec while I take a look. I want to see if, okay, good, I just wanted to make sure the video is still going. But yeah, go ahead and throw out a like or a comment or anything you wanna see. And I'll do my best to facilitate that in a part 2, or even a part 3 if we decide that we need that. But I just wanted to try this out tonight because, like I said, last time I streamed Ark, I did not get a chance to actually stream it because OBS did not want to pick up the game window as a source capture, so it didn't work. And I tried to do a window capture, just like my monitor capture, but it failed. It crashed, I think, because it was just black screen. But anyway, thank you for chilling with me and being patient with me fucking around with OBS at the beginning of the stream. But yep. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys for more Spirit in the Mouse. Maybe more Ark. Maybe more VR. And just more stuff. Maybe more Half-Life 2. Maybe we'll finish that up finally. It's been a while, I know. Anyone that was like really jonesing to see me play the rest of Half-Life, I am very, very sorry. I will get to that and finish that up at some point, I promise. It's just, I gotta be in the mood for a dumb shooter, which actually is a little bit more highbrow than most, so the undumb shooter, let's put it that way. But yeah, so Half-Life 2, Spirit in the Mouse, more Payday 3, because I have one more heist to stream, since I did all the other ones already. More Phasmo, probably, because I love Phasmo. I'm not going to do any more Banjo game. I know we didn't beat Gruntilda, but that's okay. I don't think we really need to, because I don't think you get anything for it, if I'm not mistaken. And we pretty much saw everything the game had to offer, so if you're looking for more Banjo game, I do apologize for that as well, but we're kind of at the end of that one, so we're probably not going to revisit it anymore. Unless I decide to one day pick it back up and stream it again, which is very possible. But that will not be for a while, because I tend to not replay games for more than like a couple of years. I don't have to. There's just so much new crap coming out day by day that I have a full plate. I pretty much never have to go back and restream anything because there's just so much new shit. But long-winded end of stream. But yep, again, thank you for tuning in if you did. Hope you guys have a good night, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.